Come from Tripoli. Papers now, though, with the broadcaster, award-winning photographer Cambridge Jones. Cambridge, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And we've got Moussa Koussa, Jeremy talking about him there in the Mail on Sunday.
Yeah, and I should preface this with the observation that I was broadly in favour of going into Libya, as though anyone should care what I thought. But it's not... I haven't picked this article because I necessarily agree with it, but more because they're saying we shouldn't deal with this rat, a rat the size of Moussa Koussa, but more the notion that it brings the realpolitik of the situation, that you've got to sometimes deal with people you don't want to deal with in order to get, not only for the PR message of other people jumping ship, but also to find information out. I think the same thing in a sense with the Libyan... what are they called? The Interim Council, and whoever they are.
Yes, is it a government in waiting? And of course we should reflect that we saw those pictures of Tony Blair engaging with Gaddafi when they were trying to get Libya within the international fold once more. So
yes, and it occurs to me in some ways that we wouldn't be in the situation we are at all. Well, I raised this for discussion, I suppose, but if they hadn't got rid of the weapons of mass destruction, would we have dared go in? An interesting question.
If they did have them, Tony,
if they still had them, yeah.
Right, different matters in the Observer. Film review of Oranges and Sunshine. We actually reviewed it here on Sunrise yesterday.
Oh, did you? I saw it yesterday. I was adopted, so it had particular resonance for me.
Because just to remind people, it's about the kids taken out to Australia, and their parents didn't even realise they were being taken out.
Yes, so they were in care homes in Britain, and 130,000 were shipped out to... I do a lot of work with Barnardos, and Barnardos have filled me in on all this. But I felt I was obviously deeply moved because part of me always thinks there, but for the grace of God go I, because I had a very happy childhood, but I always feel for those who might not. Yeah. But this story seemed to me brilliant and a great film, but there was a problem in it for me, which is touched on here, which is they sort of assume that you needed to bring all these kids back to meet their parents, whereas, of course, they were often in homes because that wasn't going to work. And there was a leap of logic somewhere in there that said... but it's a brilliant film, and Emily Watson has an extraordinary performance and well worth seeing.
And Jim Loach directing, son of Ken Loach, of course, staying with the Observer, page 37, Andrew Rawnsley talking about this referendum on the 5th of May.
Yeah, I mean, this is a light comment from me, but I find there's an argument brewing, isn't there, and one's hearing it more and more, that if you vote for AV... you will get your MPs to work harder. And I sort of think that isn't the problem.
Because the sword of Damocles is hanging over them.
But my favourite... I had dinner in Parliament this week, and somebody just quietly over the table said, the problem with AV is you vote for David Miliband and you get Ed Miliband.
Now, there's a thought. Yes, OK, discuss. Right, OK. Meanwhile, the Indiana Joneses of Gloucester, or Gloucestershire, I should say, in the Sunday Telegraph.
This is fantastic. This is like the Da Vinci Code. These guys have found, or claim to have found, in a cave in Jordan, some tiny books that predate St. Paul's version of the stories of Jesus. And you know, it theoretically could rewrite some large chunks of the Bible. But having found it, they then found themselves under threat and had to go into hiding and potentially being kidnapped. And
who are they being chased by then? Not the Nazis this time around, like Indiana Jones.
It doesn't say, but it's a great story, I think.
Yeah, the holy grail of biblical stories, indeed. OK, well, look, thank you ever so much, Cambridge, for coming in.
Pleasure.
And we'll see you again soon.
Thanks.
And enjoy your next lunch in Parliament. Very nice. Thank you. You're watching Sunrise on our website, skynews.com, our weather blog with details on why March was one of the driest months ever. Gardeners hoping for those April showers now. And here on Sunrise, we're hearing about a fundraising